All right, so there's been a lot of questions about police security, what's going on, all these deaths we're hearing. Joining me in the studio now live is police spokesman Charles Owino. And by the way, you can tweet us your questions and comments. And first, SMS 22422, or you can tweet us at Citizen TV Kenya, at Lillian_Muli, at Koinanga Jeff. Spokesman, what's your Twitter handle? Twitter.
Owino.
At Owino or at Charles Owino?
Yes. No. At Owino.
At Owino. Okay, so first question, and I'm sure you've been bombarded with these all day long. The public-funded Kenya Human Rights Commission, KNHCR, places the death toll since Tuesday at 24. It has a list of where all those deaths occurred. This is 20 more than the official police figure. Who's telling the truth, spokesman?
100 since when?
No, it says 24 since Tuesday.
No, I don't think that is right. It's only unfortunate that could be. I've left one of my important lists to give you.
How many do you have?
Other names. The number of deaths that I've had about six.
Since when? Since yesterday.
Yeah, 6 since yesterday. But I have 2 other deaths that we have not confirmed, which is police related. The deaths that we have had since Tuesday, the first death occurred on 11th, and this is where some people broke into Kasabuni supermarket at night after the declaration of results, and 2 were shot dead in Ruaraka. And then on 12th, we had an incident in Starehe where 25 people broke into houses and 1 person was shot dead. We also have an incident of a gang of 6 which broke into a hardware on the same date last night at Kariobangi. 2 people were shot dead. And then we had an incident in Kisumu. This morning also, where 200 men blocked Dago Road and Dago Kiboswa Road, and one person was shot dead. We had a very unfortunate incident of a 9-year-old who died in Mathare. That one we have not established whether it was police fire or not, but we are investigating it. It's a very unfortunate incident because the child was shot while in the house.
While in the house.
Then in Kariobangi also we found 1 person lying beside the road,
shot,
with fresh wounds. Now, equally, we have other deaths where 2 people were lynched at Kondele by civilians last night, and then at Southern Bypass, 2 gentlemen who, let me not call them gentlemen, 2 people who were on a motorbike raped a girl, and police responded, and the 2 were fatally shot.
They were killed.
Yeah, they were killed. These are the only incidents that we have. Apart from that, on 9th, we had an incident where a clerk in Tana River was attacked and stabbed and killed.
Okay, let's come back to this 9-year-old you mentioned.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're still investigating.
Yes.
The opposition leaders have been claiming that police are using live bullets. And this child was
live bullets against who? Because we need to be very specific, and be very candid.
Okay.
You know that immediately after the declaration of the presidential results, violence broke out in many parts of the country, more so in Kisumu, and then we had places like Mathare, Kibera, Allsops. We had some little violence here and there that broke out. And you are aware that in this country, every person has a right to demonstrate, or to picket, or to assemble.
Yes.
But you do it peacefully, and you do it unarmed.
So the live bullets are being used against what?
So what we can say is that the only incidents where we have used live bullets is where we have dealt with criminals who have taken advantage of the situation. For example, I've just given you a situation where on 11th at Ruaraka, people broke into Kasabuni supermarket, and 2 were shot dead. These are not rioters. These are criminals taking advantage of the situation. I've also told you 25 people broke into people's houses with pangas in Starehe last night, and one person was shot.
Yeah.
That is not a rioter. Just a minute.
Sure.
That's a criminal.
Okay.
If you come to Babadogo, 6 people broke into a hardware and they were found stealing. 2 were fatally shot. If you come to Kisumu, we had 200 men who blocked the Dago Kiboswa road, and 1 person was shot. I've said that in that process, we have a very unfortunate incident where a 9-year-old was unfortunately shot dead. So, but we cannot say, because the child was found shot in their house. I can't tell whether the child was in the balcony or inside the house. Yeah, and if when that incident took place and police went there, we cannot tell whether it was a policeman's bullet that shot the child or not. But then
human rights groups are accusing the police of being trigger happy.
It's normal for human rights. It's not the first time that they're accusing us. But Jeff, I want to tell you something. That, you see, number one, we don't manage elections. We simply provide security. We have provided Kenyans with security during the campaign period. We have provided Kenyans with security to ensure that the ballot boxes were secured from the airport to the warehouses. We transported the ballot papers up to the polling stations. We secured Kenyans. Remember, we had a lot of, there was a lot of fear, especially on our border with Somalia, from Mandera down to Lamu. We secured it properly. We didn't have incidents. Our masks were intact, and the voting went on properly up to the level that we closed the voting without incidents. Now, we have only started having problems upon declaration of the presidential results. And we want to remind Kenyans, we as the police, we only have a duty to protect lives and properties. And if you become a criminal and you are threatening the life of an individual or the properties of individuals, then we are put in a situation where we have to protect lives and property. I want to give you a very simple example. On 11th August at 22:30 hours, that is 10:30 hours last night, 300 youths started rioting in Ahero, and they burnt kiosks in Ahero. What are those kiosks to do with them? Why would you burn kiosks for your brothers, for your sisters, for your mothers? They even pelted a bus, a Guardian Angel bus, with stones. They went and brought down the wall of breweries in Kisumu. And remember, this breweries wall breweries is where the president just promised that he's opening breweries after a very long time.
The 15 billion shilling plan. Well,
just a minute. Let me just give you another example. In Kisumu, at 02:30 hours in the morning, an old man his residence was attacked, and 2 vehicles, Toyota double cabin and a Toyota station wagon, were burnt.
How many of these people have been arrested?
We have arrested a number of people.
How many?
I cannot.
Because all we're hearing is people being killed.
Excuse me. We have arrested a number of people. Let me start.
Give me a number. What is the number?
Let me start by telling you more interesting incidents of the persons we have arrested. You remember there was a guy called Alfie Kipkorir, who was on Facebook claiming that he's a policeman and is going to kill Luos in Kisumu, and that they had body bags. This gentleman has been arrested, and he's due to be charged in court. The guy who was on Facebook and was sending messages and saying they had bags. Also, a person has been arrested in Kajiado.
One person?
Yes, has been arrested in Kajiado. And this is a person who was in social media. They are posting scenes. In fact, they are posting scenes even of other countries, including motor incidents in Tanzania.
So these pictures that we're seeing on social media, are you telling me they're wrong?
A number of pictures are wrong. A number of pictures are wrong, unless you ask me a specific picture.
I'm not going to display that. No.
Yes, but the number of persons who have arrested, I don't have. But I knew you were concerned about fatalities. And I've given you fatalities of persons who are simply criminals, robbers, who are arrested, who are not arrested, who are shot and fatally shot and died. But we also have that one incident, the unfortunate incident of the 9-year-old who was shot.
Okay, Charles, would you say that the police are they're using a little too much brute force? Would you admit that?
You know, when you talk about force, you always ask yourself, how much force is reasonable? If today I come with my bare hands to attack a policeman or to attack an individual, and then a policeman uses a rungu or uses a firearm, that's very unfortunate. That is excessive force. If you come in with a gun, like a robber, I have just to use the gun. Now,
but these demonstrators don't have guns.
Excuse me. The demonstrators may not have guns. They are burning buildings. They are burning. They're burning houses. And these other people were robbers. And remember, like where the girl was shot, there were people who are firing at police. We don't know whether they are criminals with firearms. You know, in this country, you have seen criminals holding firearms and even killing policemen.
Sure.
They were in this particular place where we had the girl shot. We found there were people who were firing at police at night, and it was nighttime. We could not catch up with them. There was exchange, and they took off. So you cannot say that these people do not have firearms. We were shot at, and there are justifiable circumstances when we can use a firearm. And I've told you, in all the cases where life has been lost through police shooting, they are purely criminals who have attacked individuals, either attacking people's houses. Like, for instance, these people who burnt an individual's two vehicles in somebody's compound in Kisumu, or who brought down the wall. You would find that there would be a very large number, and sometimes when you have 3 or 4 police officers, they would be overpowered.
But okay, do the police officers have direct shoot-to-kill instructions?
Police officers, the way we are trained, we are not like military. Police officers will always take actions without referring to their books or their superiors. If today a police officer is on patrol along Moi Avenue and he comes across armed robbers, he will not pick his phone and call me, Afande, there are armed robbers here, can I shoot or not shoot? No. He has been taught on justifiable circumstances of when he can use his firearm. And that is not the time for him to go back to his book and start saying what are the justifiable circumstances.
Okay,
so it should now be inherent upon an individual police officer to know when to use his firearm or not. And that is why every individual police officer takes responsibility. Even these cases which we are saying police have shot, and the police who have shot are telling us people had broken houses. We don't leave it at that level. We open inquiries, and they have been opened to establish circumstances under which these people lost their lives. And if by chance we find that you lied to us, that this was a criminal and he was not, then you take responsibility and we charge you for that. And it will not be the first time that we would be charging a police officer for misusing his firearm. But as the reports come to us now, and that is why we are a very lucky country with the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution. You are aware that we got a civilian oversight authority called IPOA, in which this is an institution that is independent, that is civilian, that oversights the police. That if you feel that the circumstances under which a person has died is not justifiable, it is just prudent that you get in touch with IPOA. And even in these cases, I'm sure IPOA is going to ask for our files. They are also going to undertake individual investigations. And when a police officer is found culpable, then the police officer will take responsibility.
Okay, Samuel Mujera says, even if the rioters are criminals, they ought to be arrested, not killed.
Excuse me.
It's a simple rule of law.
He should understand what we are saying. We're not talking about people demonstrating who have turned to be rioters. We are talking about persons taking advantage of incidents in towns, people rioting, and them, instead of maybe joining the demonstration or the picketing, they get into a hardware, break it and steal. That is not a rioter. That one is a thief, is a criminal.
But how many of those do you have? I mean, you have more rioters blocking the highway.
And we have not touched any rioter blocking the highway. We haven't even had an incident where a rioter has been killed. Though as much as they have done very bad things, those demonstrations, we break them because they are unlawful, and the demonstrations are lawful in the sense that they are not peaceful, and in the sense that the rioters are armed. And that justifies the reason why we should be able to break the demonstrations.
Jessica Rivera says, why did the government supply body bags to Kisumu before the elections? Was the outcome and reactions to the outcome premeditated?
Number one, I am not aware that we specifically sent body bags.
It was in the news. Come on, you must be aware.
Excuse me.
It was in the news.
I want to answer you, Jeff. You know, I'm a professional policeman of 25 years.
Yes.
And a CID officer.
So
for
you
your
should have known whether there were body bags.
Excuse me. I want to explain that there's a gentleman called Alfie Kipkorir who claimed to be a police officer and went on Twitter. His Twitter handle. Went on his Twitter and posted and Facebook that they have received enough body bags and they are going to kill Luos in Kisumu. And I've just told you that this Alfie Kipkorir is in our custody. We have arrested him and he's not a policeman. So that was a lie.
When was he arrested?
Today. And even another person in social media has also been arrested in Kajiado, who was also posting false pictures that were coming from other countries.
You traced them, you found them, they're under arrest tonight?
Yes, they're under arrest. They're in our custody and they'll appear in court on Monday. You'll be able to see them. But what I'm saying is, yes, policemen always have body bags in every police station, one or two. Because a number of times we retrieve bodies from the rivers, which are rotten. We retrieve people who have hanged. We get accidents every now and again, and we have a right to have a body bag in a police station, one or two. I've been a station commander. I've been an OSPD. I've always had body bags in my custody, so that when there's a body to be collected from a river, or somebody has hanged, or there's an accident, where we have body bags, they will use the body bags to carry. But we never had specific body bags taken to Kisumu.
You talked about live bullets being used, right? What about rubber bullets? Are police using rubber bullets out there on the demonstrators?
I want to tell you something. A firearm without a live bullet is a rungu. It's not a firearm.
It's a rungu?
Yes, it's not a firearm.
So there are no rubber bullets?
There would be rubber bullets. There would be a few gunners, just like we have the tear gas gunners, which you can use and use it to throw a tear gas. We can also use gunners to throw a rubber bullet. But you can never have a riot team without live bullets. Because if riot teams do not have a backup of live bullets, then all the firearms they are at risk, because they will be rungus, they'll not be firearms.
Olago Makolago says there are still gunshots being heard even now.
Yes, where?
Olago, where?
Because I know what has happened is that by this evening, Kisumu, Kibera, Kariobangi, and all over has been quite peaceful. I remember Dr. Evans Kidero, the probable outgoing governor of Nairobi, because I'm told he lost, called me personally, and he told me he was talking to people in Mathare and other places to be calm and to be able to obey the law and ensure they do the right thing. And I think a few minutes ago he also confirmed to me that the whole of Nairobi is calm and we don't have incidents. So I think if there would be any gunshot heard anywhere, then there could be a reason as to why.
All right. There's pictures making rounds all day long about a journalist arrested wearing protective gear. Why?
What happens is, if you have, I would answer you, but I'm not very sure if they have been arrested and they are in.
They were arrested. We saw them.
Fine. If they were arrested, I don't know that they're still in custody or they were left.
No, they were released later.
Yes, but what happens, Jeff, is that you cannot allow everyone to have a protective.
Well, come on, it's our business. If we're working in a riot zone.
Excuse me. If you're working in a riot zone, there's a procedure. It is just like you can own a civilian firearm and you're not a policeman.
Right.
Because you are licensed to have a civilian firearm and we have your record.
Yes.
So even protective gear, if you just leave it out there, robbers would put it on for purpose of harassing people.
So, if
what happens is, if you want to have
on TV and you see them live,
excuse me, if you want, excuse me, for purposes of order,
yes,
you cannot say because you are reporting and you are going to a dangerous zone, you'd carry a firearm without a license, would you?
That's not the point.
No, no, no. Would you carry a firearm without a license? If the requirement is that protective gear must be licensed, it doesn't matter where you are.
So he was arrested because of the gear. They wanted to see his license, whether he was licensed for it.
I believe so.
That's it?
Yeah, I believe so. But there's nothing wrong. You have been a journalist in dangerous areas.
War zones.
Yes, you've worn protective gear.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you've done it within the law.
Tell me something, Charles. Have you reached out to the politicians out there where these riots are taking place? Have you reached out to the politicians? Because they're the ones who usually calm things down.
I've just told you I've spoken to Dr. Evans Kidero.
Yes, that's one in Nairobi.
In Nairobi, and he spoke to me. But you are aware that after the declaration of the results, most of the politicians that lost appear agitated. And I'm sure they are making outrageous statements, and they're not willing to talk to us as at now. But we hope, especially the politicians who made statements, like Honorable Rengo, my senator in Siaya, and Honorable Mudama, they talked about numbers. I think it would be prudent that tomorrow they should be able to visit us willingly and make reports and record a statement with us.
You're inviting them?
Yes, and if they feel we are not the best institution to come to, then they can visit IPOA, Independent Police Oversight Authority, to record statements with them. And because, you know, outrageous statements are not going to help us. Yes.
What's going to stop the madness?
Remember, Jeff, we are not security guards. Policemen, we are officers of the law. Our duty is to enforce laws and regulations. Gentlemen have just been elected to go to Parliament. They'll go there to make laws. Once they have made laws, we enforce the laws. So what happens is that if you go against the law, then definitely, whether you cry, you jump, you run, we have the long arm of the law have to catch up with you.
A lot of people are watching you right now across the country.
Yes.
Those probably planning to go out tonight and cause havoc or mayhem or, you know, to be against the law. Yes. What do you tell them right now?
Number one, I would want to remind every Kenyan, you have a right to demonstrate. You have a right to picket. You have a right to assemble. But do it within the law. The Article 37 of the Constitution allows you to do it as long as you do it peacefully and unarmed. And let me tell you, if tomorrow we are told that people want to demonstrate because they are agitated, they want to remove the tension and the pressure they have, we will be able to have what we call our police patrol cars. Ordinarily people call them 999. We would have a 99 in front. We would even have first aiders. We would even have horses to escort them if they are going to be peaceful and unarmed. Even if you want us to go with you to Mombasa, we'll do. But then, this primitive act of burning the road. Burning the road. I can tell you, Jeff, my experience about burning the roads in 2007. If I had to travel from my home in Sega in Siaya, coming to Nairobi, I had to go to Bondo. It's quite, for those who know, it's quite a distance. Instead of coming to Kisumu, I go to Bondo. I come to Kisumu because my Busia Kisumu road was bad. Get into Ahero, go to Sondu, go to Nyamira, and then go to Sotik, go to Narok, and then come to Nairobi. That was the distance I would follow because people banned the roads and the roads were bad. Now, today, if people are going to ban the new tarmac, which has been done, it's a pity because I can tell you, you cannot change anything by banning roads, by unnecessary demonstrations,
or burning shops for that matter.
Or burning shops, or stealing.
Okay, Charles, we're going to take a quick break, but all the feedback is not negative. David Waiganjo says, Owino is one of the best officers we have in Kenya. Tell him to keep up the good work. So all is not lost.
Yes.
You know, there's a bit of positive feedback. We're going to take a break, come back and chat some more about this hate. Oh, we're winding up. Okay, Rabba, I guess we'll have to wind up.
Yes.
Well, keep doing what you do. Remember, utumishi kwa wote.
Yes.
Not just to some.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll come back and talk to you some more. All right? You have any closing thoughts?
Yes. I just have one message. That we will work and use the law proportionately, and we shall be responsive to each and every Kenyan. We request Kenyans to understand our position as policemen. that we are officers of the law. We have a duty to protect you and protect your property. But remember, you will lose your rights the moment you try to destroy properties belonging to other individuals, your brothers or sisters, or want to take away life of an individual, threaten or harm another. You lose that particular right. We are not here to kill any Kenyan. We are here to ensure that every Kenyan life is preserved, every Kenyan property is preserved. And we would only urge politicians on one thing. Please, try and follow the law. We will not be able to help you if you don't follow the law.
Yeah.
No matter what you will do, whether you will jump, whether you will run, whether you will accuse us, whether you will abuse us, we only have one duty: protect Kenyan lives, protect Kenyan properties, and ensure that there is law and order in the country. We need the country to be calm. We need to do business. We need to make money. We need to ensure that our economy runs appropriately. If there is a problem, there are procedures and laws. We are a lucky country that all of us in 2010, we came up with a beautiful constitution that much of it provides for the route to follow when there is discontent. I wish all Kenyans best of luck.
All right. Charles Owino there, police spokesman. Thank you so much for spending time with us. And we'll be talking to you, no doubt, within the next few days. Let's hope peace and calm prevails.
Thank you.
Charles Owino there, spokesman for the police right here in the studios, talking about the situation as it is across the country. We're going to take a quick break, come back, plenty more ahead. Lillian Muli will be back with plenty more stories. Stay with us. This is continuing coverage of Ballot 2017, the post-election part. Take a break, come back in a moment.